After 45 years, the Kings can wear their crown. Score!
The Los Angeles Kings are indeed the kings of the National Hockey League.
Stanley Cup Moments, presented by McDonald's.
When you're going into the Phoenix series, might have been the first series, regardless of the seeding, where the Kings were the favorite.
There was a quiet confidence about the group. It was all business, and we knew we had an opportunity. I mean, we're in stranglehold the series at 3-1.
You're going to go back for another game in Phoenix, and the only trepidation is, well, you let them get their foot in the door again.
And look at this push by Phoenix early on.
You know, the Coyotes had, I'm not going to say a lot of chances offensively, but they did dictate the pace and tempo, maybe a little bit more than any time for the Kings in the series against Vancouver or St. Louis.
Waits, sends it to the front, score!
Game 5 is tied going into overtime, and again, another scenario where if the Kings win in overtime, they clinch a series.
Overtime Game 5 is probably one of the more notorious parts of our cup run.
In overtime, of course, as it's progressing, Dustin Brown hits Michael Rozabal.
Kopitar, extra move at the line, it's offside, and then Brown runs into him, and Roosevelt hurt.
Rozabal cut to the middle, and he ended up being offsides, and I, being the player that I am, I finished my check on a side check, and it may look like I go knee on knee, and it ends up being full body contact, and he ends up being hurt, which is probably the most unfortunate thing of the whole situation. It was like the perfect storm for their emotions.
And I think at that point, they came unglued a little bit because they seen their teammate, kind of pulled off the ice. And that had an impact on us winning the game at that point.
You felt the momentum swing from Brownie's hit, and the scrum that ensued, and you go out there and you think, well, this is something big gonna happen right away.
And seconds later, the Kings go down the ice.
Carter closing in, save, rebound out in front of Tampa Bay.
I seen that rebound pop out in the slot, and I knew Pens was close to it.
And I was coming in looking for any loose change.
We had a pretty good view of that. It was at the other end of the ice, but we were looking right down the ice, and I saw when the puck came up the middle and Penner was going to get to it.
When you saw Pens with the chance, it was kind of like the net was partially empty, and it was like, come on, Pens.
When you score that goal, you just know how happy and how excited the guys are going to be.
Trying to hop the boards as quick as possible without falling on my face, and I think a couple guys fell beside me to either side, and you just try to get to the pile as quick as possible and start celebrating.
He skated away from everyone. I just remember everyone trying to catch up to him.
And I remember hesitating on the call just for a split second.
Penner with the puck to Carter to the right circle, and a shot, save, rebound. Penner, a shot, and he scores! Dustin Penner!
Jimmy and I are jumping around, and these fans from Phoenix they're really upset. And we're turned around, we're smiling, we're ready to go on camera, and they're just, the more we smiled and the more we hugged each other and congratulated, the more upset they became. But I kind of like to do that in the visiting arena when we win.
Now you have that celebration. At the same time, in the back of your mind is, okay, there's one more. There's one more series here. But you could feel it.
What a feeling it was when that thing went in, because suddenly you realize, like, we're going to the finals. This is going to be amazing.
I just remember hugging everybody and thinking, man, we're going to the Stanley Cup.
And you know what? As much as we weren't done and we didn't feel like we were done, it was pretty damn good at that point to think we're going to Stanley Cup Finals.
You're on the ice and goal scored, and I'm 35. I never played in the finals, just having a chance to play in the Stanley Cup Finals. So you're on the ice, and I was kind of like in shock. It's like, is this happening? Is this real?
So many things get involved in sport now with, the money, the marketing, and everything else. And watching those guys, Mike Richards, jump like a bobblehead, and you know, Penner and Kopi coming off the bench. That is an unbelievable scene. And when you see that youthful exuberance where everything becomes irrelevant except each other, that's a tremendous feeling.
That's one of the best feelings in sports. I think anybody would agree, is to have your teammates come out there and see how excited they are. It's one of those feelings you wish to be able to live over and over again.